subject was and is all about impermanence. Impermanence is in impermanence, there is one thing that I'd like to start with, and there is this only one thing that has got permanence, and that itself is impermanence in this entire universe. Nothing is constant. So in life, in growth, and in every area of life, even in my life, as I was growing as a teenager, there was nothing which was in the zone of permanence. It was everything was an impermanence. I started stunts when I was 12 years old, and I started performing at that age, and I realized that, hey, I'm good at something. Why not perform? And why not go ahead with it? And at that time, it didn't seem anything wrong with it. I actually continued doing it, and I succeeded to a great level. The day I turned 16, I realized that I did not get a specific kind of a job in terms for performing stunts for at least a good 4 months. And that's when I realized that, again, nothing is permanent in life. There is nothing that holds its permanence in life except impermanence. And at that age, I realized that if apart from stunts, if I had to do something, then I really had to work on myself. And that's where I studied exercise physiology. I moved on. I started training people for fitness. I started training so many celebrities that I used to perform stunts for fitness. And I started guiding them for their nutrition. As I grew older, let's say as I grew further younger, somewhere around 25, I completed my doctorate in clinical hypnotherapy, and I also started practicing that. So it is very important that in life you always have your own options, you always have your own backups, and at the same time, always remember that only one thing is permanent, and that is impermanence. Life can take several turns, life can take several movements, life can take several zones, and the only way to get out of it and the only way to kind of live through it and go through it is to get into it. Submerge yourself fully into it, put in everything that you have. People say that they need to hit rock bottom before they reach up, and once you hit rock bottom, the only way is up. Not necessary. You don't really need to hit rock bottom. You can, from where you are, also grow and also evolve as a person. For me, stunts is my biggest passion, but so along with stunts are so many other things. That is physical fitness, mental health, and so forth, so on. Life is huge. Life is just huge. You need to understand and you need to grow in life. You need to know that no matter what you do, you are going to be doubted, you're going to be questioned, you're going to be looked upon, looked down, and there are going to be several things that are from every other direction and dimension that you didn't know existed fall upon you. What you need to do in such times and such crises is hold yourself together and remember who you are. Remember what you are and do not get affected by the opinion of others, because that is one thing that is totally out of your control. What people's opinion of you defines them. It doesn't define you as a person. It doesn't define you as a whole. It doesn't define you as a person. What defines you is you, not opinions, not statements, nothing. You define you. So only you have the power to define you. You have the power to allow to get the opinions of others to you or not. Only you are the one who decides that. And only you are the one who has that power. So every time in life, the first thing when you choose to grow, or the first thing that you choose to do, is you should remember that impermanence is the only thing that has got its permanence in life, and its roots are really deep. So rather flow with it, grow with it, and make life out of it. Submerge yourself into it. There have been several stunts that I've been doing, and I would like to share one experience. So in one of those experiences, I was asked to take a bike, jump off a ramp, and not just jump off a ramp, but I was asked to perform a stunt where I'm jumping off a ramp. I had to land in that particular spot wherein there was not enough landing space, and there was the filmmaking camera with the actress. I refused to do that stunt because I realized that there is not enough landing space, and I might even just end up landing on the camera itself. When I refused to do that, there was a stunt director who came up to me and told me and asked me, "How old am I?" And I said, "Sir, I'm 16." So he's like, "I've got 16 years of experience. Now, shut up and do the stunt." And I'm like, "I really don't mind doing the stunt, but you need to adjust the ramp according to me. Because if I do it with this calculation, I'm going to end up landing on the camera and the actress." Now, the director gets totally offended. He's like, "Look, it's your job to break your leg. If you cannot break it and if you cannot do it, you shouldn't be a stunt woman at all." So it was kind of a hurtful statement. And that is, imagine you being said that at the age of 16 in front of the entire crew of around 50 to 100 people. So, well, at that day, I said, "I'm sorry, but my job being a stunt woman is not to break my leg. My job is to perform the most dangerous stunts in the most efficient manner in which I do not get hurt. And you, as stunt director, it's your job to make sure and ensure safety of your crew. Well, let me see who performs this stunt and allow me to just watch it, because if someone is able to manage this in this crux of the ramp and the landing distance, I would really love to stand and watch and learn. And if not, probably either of us would have learned a lesson today." So, well, with his big fat inflated ego, he did let me stay and did let me watch the stunt. And he's like, "Look, I'll show you how a man does it. And that is the reason this is a man's job. It was any which ways never your job." I said, "Sure, I'm willing to look at it and I'm willing to learn from it." Well, waiting over there, he asked one of the older guys to kind of get into a girl's costume and go on it. So this guy takes a nice good drag of some drug and he's ready for it, puts his helmet on. He shouldn't have been ideally more than 30 kilometers or maybe 40 kilometers per hour, but he drove at the speed of 70 kilometers per hour on a ramp which was only 15 feet at its length, and the landing distance between the camera and the ramp was only 15 to 17 feet max. So with that speed, he just took off the ramp, crash landed on the camera. The cameraman got injured. The moment he crash landed, he broke his shin. He injured his wrist, he injured his neck, and somewhere around his spine is also where he got an internal injury. Now, upon this scenario, everyone was shocked. Everyone rushed to him. People didn't even know how to kind of, lift him. And this I'm talking like around 20 years ago. Oh no, maybe 15 years ago. And people at that time didn't know how to, react to a trauma victim and if such accidents happened, as to how to go about it. And I was the one to kind of stabilize him, because by then I had also completed my cardiopulmonary resuscitation and first aid course. So I kind of put him on a stretcher, neutralized his body, kept him in a neutral position, and waited for the ambulance to arrive. And what happens at that day was really shocking. The same action director who had his big inflated ego had to come up to me in front of the same 50 odd people and tell me that, "Hey, maybe you were right, and we could have just adjusted the ramp and maybe this could have been avoided." And I said, "I wish you heard me before, because now you've kind of destroyed someone's life. At least for the next 6 months, he's not going to recover. And that's a very sad thing." So in life, nothing is permanent. But at the same time, you also have to have this strong ability to say no. Saying no is a very strong ability that only you grow and you develop, and you need to learn the importance of it. So that is, I think, one of the biggest challenges that any stunt women and most people face in life. And that is, they get stuck onto things, and because it is said in front of so many people, you end up doing it. You shouldn't. In my personal opinion and my personal sense, no, you shouldn't. You should never, and no one on this planet Earth should have the power to make you do something that you don't want to. That is just not right. You should always listen to yourself, even if it means in front of 100 people or 1,000 people. You must always listen to yourself.